trying to watch Mullen all day, trying to fucking watch IQST. Wow, it feels amazing, and it looks like the market is almost back to where we were balling back in 2020. It feels good. I don't think I ever had an afternoon like this one where we literally had two back-to-back 15% plus moves during power hour. That literally sparks things up. When you're able to make two 15% moves like that, literally your account, that's gonna how you're gonna grow your account. I mean, if you do have a smaller account, I recommend you just taking one of them.
My account's 1 month today.
Yeah, so Nick's account's 1 month. We'll check up on him in the middle of the webinar. We'll see how he's doing. His small account has got his way up to who knows. We'll find out in a little bit. But let's get this thing started since we are a little late. And yeah, it's a jam-packed webinar. We're gonna go over the week as well as the month. So we got a couple things to go over here. We're gonna talk about the hot sectors. We had the banking and Bitcoin in the month of June. So both of those we're gonna talk about. We'll talk about our biggest win, biggest loss of the week, biggest win, biggest loss of the month. And then we got a little bit of Mullen. We got to talk about how some stocks might be heating back up and the cannabis sector. You never know, but we'll talk about why I think that. And then Sniper Strati, we did give him a shout out 2 weeks ago, but he deserves another shout out. So he's going to get one for the month of June.
Legend.
And then we'll talk about what we're going to look at overnight. So we got a jam-packed webinar. So we might as well get started. Now, I didn't bring my microphone here today. My boy, baby. What it do? How we doing?
Thanks, dude.
Chilling, dude. Chilling. I'm glad you came, AJ.
Jump in.
Bro,
What?
we got the big one.
I know, damn.
Here, if you guys want something, it's all on us tonight.
Hey,
So whatever you guys want. You can get a sandwich, give it a fuck you
Okay,
want.
might have to grab some.
Or a drink or whatever. Thanks. Yeah, for sure. My boy Sniper AJ Amari just showed up in the house.
I swear, it worked out. Thank you.
I'm about to order some more, like different designs and stuff like that.
I like that. That was a great fit too.
We got to hit one of those stretch things too.
Yes.
I've literally been doing it every morning now. So now I would love to kind of like show the members. I try to bring it up in the chat room. I'm like, I'm about to do a stretch, and I send them a YouTube video because I usually do it on YouTube. But if we could make our own one,
yeah,
sure. Exactly.
Oh, that would be sick.
We're gonna get one going.
Let's actually plan a date.
Yeah, all right, we'll do it. We'll get Nick to film it and shit. Yeah, just a morning stretch for people, just because I'm doing it now, so I might as well just fucking create it on our own. So yeah, you guys heard that. Before we dive in there, we got our boy Sniper Amari in the house. He pretty much is full-time fitness, half-time fitness, grinding, stock trader, doing it all, just like you guys, just like all of us. We all have different hustles, but we can always resort back to the stock market. And once this shit heat back up, maybe we don't need separate hustles. So that's the whole goal of it all. But let's dive on in because we do got a lot going on here. So I mainly go over this story for everyone that's new. There's really not too many new people here, so you guys really know the story, so I'm not going to skip around and tell too much about this. But if you do want to check it out, I'm actually going to make a post very soon of all the snipers and how we were actually created and all that good stuff, because we are actually 5 years in. It's pretty crazy shit. From 2018, we're now 5 years, 2023. So 5 years in as a sniper team. Let's keep up the hard work. This is a big accomplishment I wanted to show you guys. With the 2 wins we had today, the profit chart is now over 300,000 in profit. Pretty crazy to see it. It keeps going up.
It's a big number.
Now all of a sudden you see 400K. Shit. I just got to keep growing that. That's the biggest thing. Sizing up is a big factor. It was so funny to see. Actually, Jack Kellogg messaged me about Mullen. He actually DM'd me about Mullen. And he was like, where's the size, bro? 1.2 billion in volume. And I'm out here thinking I had somewhat decent size, but in his eyes, he's like, we need more. And that's the beauty about this, guys. You can learn from so many people in this game. Open your mind. Do not close your mind into anything. Open your mind and be ready to just learn. There's no one's wrong. I mean, unless you're just losing money constantly. But no one is usually wrong. So have an open mind for anybody. And Jack, just hearing that from him, I thought I had a great trade, making $1,500, and then all of a sudden, this guy is in here to let me know you got to size up, go bigger. But we'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, I like that. Positive peer pressure. So we got to keep that between all of us. So if you guys need to hold me accountable for something, hold me accountable, and that's the same with you guys. Let's hold each other's accountable, and let's continue to grow together. So last month, we only had one hot sector, and that was the AI sector. We talked about how you can take advantage of stocks when that sector starts to heat up. This month, we actually had 2 hot sectors. And when there's multiple hot sectors, you usually have a great month. And that's what this month was able to equal. So we had the banking sector, which they actually got big spikes. We had FRCB, which that was the leader of it all. And then that was able to get us a nice $1,100 bag in SPNY. And then we had SIVBQ. Now, I'm going to talk about this at the end of the webinar too, because SPNY is starting to look like it might make its reversal. We need about 1 or 2 more consolidation days in that stock. And if it still holds 19 cents, 60 or 19 to 18 cents, if it still holds that and FRCB is able to bounce, I do think we're going to get a big bounce in SPNY. So be on the lookout for that. But we did really well this week or this month on FRCB and SPNY. We had 2 wins on FRCB, and then we had 1 big win on SPNY. So altogether, it was over $2,000 in profit on the banking sector, which was that's how you take advantage of sector momentum. And then the next one was the Bitcoin stocks. We really didn't profit too much off of Bitcoin stocks. We made around $650, and then we lost like $200 today. So technically, well, we're talking about the month. So I guess we made $650 last month, but we did lose $200. We gave $200 back on Bitcoin stocks today, and the stock still turned around and did what it had to do. Either way, though, Bitcoin sector is revolved around Bitcoin and Ethereum. So as long as you're keeping an eye on Bitcoin, which is staying above 30K for the past 2 weeks, if we could stay above 30K, guys, we're probably most likely going to get another bull run into the Bitcoin sector. And if we get another bull run above 31K, like 31,700, most likely all these Bitcoin stocks that I have right here are going to make a move. So be on the lookout, create a little watch list of these Bitcoin stocks right here, and these will most likely be on the move if that does happen. These are just examples of the Bitcoin sector. As you can see, guys, GBTC and ETHE, they follow exactly what Bitcoin does. So when Bitcoin got that big spike, so did GBTC. When Ethereum got the big spike, so did ETHE. And then all these other ones start to follow with it. And they all went crazy. If you guys remember Litecoin, which I don't even have Litecoin up here, Litecoin actually went from, it was like, I think it was like $4, but it ended up going to $6. So it was like a 50% move in 2 days. Then you had BCHG, which I don't have that up there either. That made an 100% move in like 4 days. So we had some real sector momentum in Bitcoin. And when that happens, that's how you make money off of it, guys. This week was a great week. So pretty crazy thing to see. Right before I updated this is why I kind of got a little hectic towards the end of the market, was we were only having a $1,000 week. And we were going 3 for 5, winning 60% of the time. But after the power hour we just had, we are now 5 for 7, winning about 70% of the time. And we had a profit of $3,500. So we were able to make an extra pretty much $2,500 just from those 2 plays during power hour. Yeah, today was crazy, just this afternoon. It was nuts. We had Mullen, which is a stock that we've been playing now. So we had 2 straight weeks of $1,000 winners in Mullen, and then we had 1 week break last week, and now we're right back to a $1,500 plus win in Mullen, guys. And guys, I can't emphasize Mullen enough. I'm gonna go over it with you, but when I take Mullen, you gotta try to take Mullen as well. It's just one of those stocks that usually we have a good feel for at this point, and usually when we like this one, we're gonna go for it. It has to line up with all the criteria, but what usually happens in Mullen, it's a first green day, and then if it makes support throughout the day, try to get it close to that support, and then that support eventually makes a curl, and during power hour or pre-market, it's usually going to gap up. So we actually already sold it at 185, but this thing could easily push more tomorrow morning. I'm also thinking about even putting like $1,000, $2,000 very small overnight if it continues to hold. So let's dive in, and we're going to talk about Mullen real quick, and then we'll get into the month. So we'll talk about the week really quick just because how crazy this week pretty much was, with today winning, like I said, over $2,000 just during power hour today. So amazing day. So we'll talk about that really quick. But I'm mainly here to talk about the full month. So let's dive in. Mullen, here it is, guys. Next time this comes around, I really want all you guys to take advantage of it. So let's try to focus, and let's try to think about how we were able to take advantage of good old Mullen here. So here we are. Let's dive into the actual charts. We had a couple people tag Mullen too. It wasn't just me. We actually shout out to Sniper Sauce Boy. He seems to always get the uprise. So there it is, Sniper Sauce Boy. He was up 1,400, but then he sold it for 2,000. So Sauce Boy made 2,000. We had Damon, which he was supposed to be here today. I don't know if he's gonna pull up late or not. But he made $1,000, and then he also doubled down, made another couple of hundred later on. So he was like also $1,500 profit. Nick made around $900 profit, and that's on his small account. Yeah, he's got his small account growing. So all of our accounts, and then there's our total one was 1,584. So all together, guys, we bagged, I think it was $7,000 as a team. So that's amazing that all of us were able to do that. But if you look at a move like this, there was a lot more opportunity that we probably could have taken advantage of. And next time, even myself is going to be better with it. So this is the first green day. If I look at the long-term chart, this has been on our radar forever. What I like about this one is if you dive into our website, you'll be able to actually see it was on the morning watch list. But it wasn't just on the morning watch list, guys. It was on the weekly watch list. So the first stock on the morning watch list. These ones were in overnight. So we obviously are going to talk about the stocks were in overnight. But the first real stock right here is Mullen. And what is it? Holding of 10 cents. That's a key spot. And we're looking for the red to green move. That's what we're looking for. If you zoom out to the actual weekly watch list, guess what is number one on the listed stocks? Mullen. So this is one that we're looking for everywhere. It's been eyeing it down for a long time. Like I said before, 10 cents is such a key spot for any type of stock, and especially if it's able to triple bottom at 10 cents. So what I mean by that is the stock came down to 10 cents, hit that spot one time, came down to 10 cents, hit that spot a second time, and then the third time was yesterday, or I guess we had 4th of July off, so it was on Monday where it hit 10 cents. So 3 times in a row, we hit 10 cents, and it didn't want to fall below that. If it doesn't want to fall below that, what does that mean? It doesn't want to go down. It only wants to go up. So might as well be a part of that upward trend. So now we're going to try to talk about how we took advantage of it. And actually, Sauce Boy did it differently, but he did it the way that the watch list was saying. So if you check this out, you have a top out at 10.8, and this is early in the morning. You literally have it top out at 10.8. 10.8 is that red to green breakout now. This is honestly a great red to green reversal move. If you got it like Sauce Boy, golden. You don't have to sell at all. What's even better is if you bought it close to 10 cents, you could have bought it at 10.3 right here, and that's even more gold because now you're risking only 3%. But either way, if you buy it at 10.8, where Sauce Boy I think got it, it was able to kind of break out of that spot, and it never came down back to that. And that's what's great when you make these reversals. You have the breakout, and after the breakout, it never comes back down. So that's what you want to see when you're looking for a first green day reversal move. Always keep an eye on that. Always keep an eye. If it breaks out, as it hold that breakout, and if it does, it should be able to continue. There it is, and I did not think it was going to do what it did. It went from 10.8 all the way up to 18 cents. So it literally spiked 70% in the morning. I didn't take advantage of that, but what I'm starting to get better with, which morning meditation is starting to help me out, and the stretches as well, but the morning meditation really helps me out a lot with these kind of plays, because what I used to do is really beat myself up for not taking advantage of that. I just watched the stock on my watch list and weekly watch list go up 75%, and I wasn't a part of it. I used to really get upset at myself for that. But now I start to think of how I can still take advantage of it. And usually when we do play Mullen, we like to take it overnight. So that's exactly what happens here. I'm not going to chase it at 18 cents. I'm just going to sit there and be a little upset at myself. But what I am going to do is wait to see where support is. And it looks like 15 cents was that first spot. So it holds 15 cents, comes back up, and then 15 cents is that next spot. That's when we started to get in. Now, I'm trying to get $10,000 anytime I buy any stock now. But with Mullen, it was kind of risky because obviously it's up 50%, which is a little scary. And it's not 3 o'clock left yet. So we're not in power hour, and we're up 50%. I'm just trying to find a support to get a risk off of, but also I'm trying to size in and make sure I'm not going to miss the spot. And this is where I start to size in right about here. And I got most of it at 15.3, and then the rest of it I had to add up here at 16. So 15.3 and about 16.5 were my two spots that I got in, but most of my size was at 15.3. So when it got this spike up to 16, I felt comfortable with that 15 spot because now you have a perfect cut. 15 cents, I'm in at 15.3. You're only risking about 2%. That's a minimal risk. Do that any day, guys. There's so much people and so many of my friends that I know that sports gamble, and I'll throw $100 to $200 on one random baseball game or football game that you have no control of. In the stock market, if you're going to risk $200, you put $2,000 in this stock. If you're only going to lose 3%, that's only $80. So you're barely going to lose anything. So with me, that's why I started to size up. If I'm going to lose 2% to 3%, I feel comfortable putting $10,000 because what is that? That's only $300. So that's why I feel comfortable. You guys got to find what your risk levels are and what you feel comfortable with. But like I was just saying, if you're a degenerate sports gambler or like one of those guys that is willing to lose $200 at the bar one day, then you need to put your money here. I would highly recommend to change up your attitude and try to start risking things here instead of throwing your money away. So right here, you get that hold. We're in at 15.3. Then we get that ad at 16.5. And now we're pretty much in at 15.5. That was pretty much our final spot that we were able to get in. And that we looking for the 15-cent hold. And what we're looking for, guys, anytime we play Mullen is an after-hours push. Like I was saying before, every time we've profited off Mullen is either an after-hours push or a pre-market spike. It's one or the other. And we're playing the same kind of stocks. I always say, I'm not a big baseball guy, but I always say stocks are like pitchers. And with that being said, every pitcher has the same idea. They're going to just pitch the ball to the catcher and try to hit strikes. But every pitcher is going to pitch differently. Everyone has their own curveballs. Everyone has their own fastballs. Everyone perfects themselves in different ways. So that's the same with the market. Every single stock trades differently, but they all have the same intention on going up or down. So you got to find which ones you like, and those ones travel exactly the same. So once you make money off of it once, you know how it moves, go after it again. And that's what we're doing here in Mullen for the 8th time this year. We're able to profit off of it. So we're very comfortable with this. 15 cents is the cut. We're in at 15.5. Now it crosses all the way up to 17 cents at the close. And then it goes to 18.18. And that's when I said, all right, if this can curl back up and break out, I'm going to just take the bag where I got it because now it's up 100% if it's all the way up at 19 cents. And when it curls up, it does exactly what we're looking for. It starts to break out. And I actually grabbed that bag at 18.5. So I didn't get the whole thing, but that's not the objective. The objective is grabbing that 15% plus bag, especially in the span of an hour and a half. So literally in 2 hours, an hour and a half, we were able to close out $1,500 on a smaller size, half the size that we usually do. We usually, like I said, like 10,000. We had about 6,000 in this one. So we didn't get as much as we wanted. If we got what we wanted, we would have made 3K. But either way, you got to reward yourself, tap yourself on the back, and be prepared for the next time this is going to come around because it is going to come around again. So that's why I bring this up over and over. We went over Mullen before. Be ready for it. It's going to come again. I can't say it enough. On the weekly watchers watch list, I said it. I said that same exact thing. Be ready for Mullen. It's going to come again. So if you guys don't know what Mullen is, it's actually a car company, an EV car company. These are their EV cars. Somehow they're a 10-cent stock, but that just shows you guys don't trust the stock. Just play the price action because the cars look decent. They're actually selling cars in different places. Not this car yet, but they're selling cargo vans right now, and they plan on eventually selling cars like that. So be on the lookout for Mullen in the street one day. Honestly, with the way that we're playing it, if I continue to profit off of it, I honestly might have to just buy one of these cars as my actual next car after a Jeep. So I might actually have to sell my Jeep and buy an electric Mullen. It looks like a Jeep anyway. They look very similar to my Jeep anyway. Who knows if they'll actually look like that when they come out? These all penny stocks are such bullshit, bro. Yeah, right? Yeah, no, it definitely looks nice. But that looks like a fake image. I don't know if that's real or not. But either way, these ones are real. Yeah, this one might not be real. It looks crazy. These three are definitely real.
Make it look more
In
electric.
a convention. Yeah, that might Nick said that might be an AI photo. It might be. Yeah, you never know, dude. So that's our trade review right there. If you ever want to go check it out, I'll have another one on this trade right now, but we already had one earlier. And then our biggest loss this week, CLSK. I'll just go over it really quick because this was a complete bot show. It gapped down, so obviously you don't want to kind of hold on to a gap down. But at the same time, if you look at the long term, though, 360 or what was it, 460? What was the actual price?
I feel like with Bitcoin, it was at 31.3 and then it opened at 33.
Yeah, no, it definitely did. But if you do come back and you look at the chart, 460 was really that last support that it should have held on to, and it did that, just exact that. So it does gap down, and you get the gap down. I sold the gap down right away, which only losing $165.
That's good.
That is fine, 100%. You're okay with that. I also only put 5,000 in this stock, which that is a lot to a lot of people, and it's a little to a lot of people. But with me, like I just said, I usually like for 10K. So this is a half of my size, and I did that because we're a holiday weekend. We had a holiday week. I wasn't trying to go crazy with it, but it gaps down. I sell it. That's okay and completely fine. But if you did want to stick to that support that it had here, it actually completely turned around. So this, unfortunately, was kind of a botch job. At the same time, like we were saying, Bitcoin was gapping down. The stock was gapping down. It's okay to lose 165 all day, any day, especially if you're able to make $1,000 on these plays. So there's always going to be losses. You can never avoid losses in the stock market. Can't beat yourself up either. But this is a multi-month breakout play, and it ended up working out pretty well there. So if Bitcoin didn't gap down, this would have probably gapped up and really pushed the way that it did. It just kind of started to delay because the Bitcoin, like I was saying, the sector leader actually came back down on it. So that's CLSK. I won't spend too much time on it. Now let's dive into the month, because this month was one of our best months of the year, making around $7,700. Our win percentage is really what I want to point out, because the profit, guys, that's profit. Everyone's going to have different profit. People have bigger size. People have less size. So I'm not going to sit here and talk profit. But what I do want to point out is our trade win percentage. If you're winning over 70% of the time, when Jack Kellogg was in town, he said 70% was a key level. That's amazing. He said 70% is amazing. He said 60% is obviously going to get you profit, but 70% he said was amazing. The fact that we won 78% of the time in the month of June, now when I look back at it, because honestly, when you're in it and you're just trading every day, you don't really realize you're just kind of adding bags and continue to add bags. But when you look back at it now, this shows me that the market is heating up. This shows me that stocks don't want to go down, and be ready, be ready, be ready, because you got to have your funds ready when this shit starts to happen. When you're winning 78% of the time, this is literally how you're going to grow your account. And honestly, with our biggest win being $1,100, that's not even that crazy. But really what I want to point out, my favorite part about this, our biggest loss was $340. So $340 on the biggest loss and $1,100. For a whole month, having your biggest loss of $340, that's how you're going to make $7,000. So SPNY, let's dive into it really quick. We'll go over it. It was actually 3 trades altogether. We were able to make just about $12.19. The first 2 trades, I was pretty much trying to size in, and then I decided to sell, which I probably shouldn't have. And then that last trade was the one that really made us our money. So this was another amazing play, just like Mullen, that we were all able to kind of take advantage of. So let's look at it real quick. Let's check it out. And here it is. Long-term 15-cent breakout. And I don't know if it's going to let me play this really quick, but this is from the weekly watchers. I don't know if the volume's going to. And we got it way above 15 cents. So there it is. That was our overnight play right there. But you guys heard it right from the weekly watchers. Watch, listen. Same with Mullen. It was that same literal thing that I'm probably make a similar video about. Literally watch those videos, guys. I don't make these videos. I mean, I do make them for myself, but I want you guys to actually take advantage of it as well. So SPNY, we said if it gets above 15 cents, we're going to look for it. And guess what it did during the day? It got above 15 cents perfectly. If you look at it, it shot above 15 cents. So, yeah, that's hard to get 15 cents breakout. But if you were able to get anywhere in the middle of this, you made 50% on your bag, no matter what. If you got higher than it, like we did, you still made 15%. Either way, even if you did buy it high a day and sold it the next day, you could have made 30%. So just depending on where your levels were at, this is a money-made opportunity. These are the stocks that are going to grow your account. can't emphasize it enough. You got to try to be a part of these kind of plays, and it looks like they are coming back now. So with SPNY, you get the breakout of 15 cents. Then you get the clear hold of 15 cents. So know your key levels. Set alerts up. That's what these are. These are all alerts. And those alerts will alert you. So you, just in case you're not looking at the stock, now you have a 15-cent alert. You have the breakout right here. Now you pull it up, and you're just like, all right, if it holds 15 cents, I need to get in this stock. That's why I create the weekly watchers watch this, is for that exact reason. So SPNY, nice breakout, and then it continues. And unfortunately, I couldn't get in this thing. I didn't want to chase it. And then I realized how strong it was, and I just got in at 20 cents. Once it broke 20 cents, which is really high, to tell you the truth, but at the same time, I just felt the momentum. FRCB was going crazy, and that was really the one that was leading the banking stocks. So you always want to have some sort of sector leader. FRCB was that. It's going crazy. It's spiking. We get in right here, 20 cents. It closes right here, 22 cents. So we are now up 10% going overnight already. Even though we chased it, we're still up 10%. And then look at this next morning. It's a beauty. It opens at 22, and that's where I sold half of it. So, yeah, I could have done better with that. But at the same time, I'm rewarding myself for the bag because I did chase the entrance. So I'll be happy with taking that 10% with the chase. But then after that, you get the spike all the way up to 26 cents, and we were able to sell pretty much most of it at 25. So we got out at an average around 235, making over $1,000 there on SPNY. The stock did come back down to 22 cents, but if a stock comes back down and holds that daily support of that gap up, which this did gap up, it's also a healthy sign that it will continue. So you get the break, 26 cents, and then you get a fall to 22 cents. That's a healthy sign. Once it drops below that higher day, or once it drops below that gap up spot, that's when you start to see weakness. That's a bear market. That's how bears markets happen. Just like Carnival Cruise Line, what we're looking for is one day when it does this, and it's probably going to collapse like crazy. It hasn't done it in like 4 straight days. So we have 4 days that it's done moves just like this one, but it hasn't collapsed below that. The day it collapses below that is really when it's going to fall apart. So be on the lookout for that. But that is SPNY right there. Very, very, very nice move there on SPNY. And then our biggest loss, like I was saying earlier, I can't believe it, but CRLBF, the cannabis stock, is our biggest loss. And why I can't believe it is because we're at $340 on a 10K position. That's absolutely amazing that we were literally able to only lose $340 at the most in this month. It's probably what I'm the most proud of. I'm really not the most proud of all these wins. Wins are wins, and you're going to continue to add up wins, but losses are always going to be there. So if you know how to control your losses, you'll have a fucking huge week like we just had, or a huge month like we just had. So the goal is control your losses on the downside, let your winners win, and you will be able to have a huge, huge month.
I like that.
So there we go, guys. This is what I want to bring up before I dive in to just a couple more. And we're obviously going to get into questions and all that stuff. And we'll talk about what we're going to look for tomorrow and to close out the week. But I do want to point this out. The cannabis stocks tend to spike when the Safe Banking Act is brought up. And guess what? It's back for the month of July. It just got brought up, and it's heading to Capitol Hill again. So July 4th, it's not July 4th, but it's starting to get back into the Capitol. And honestly, we've all learned that once it gets to Senate, it usually gets denied. Either way, though, you usually get some momentum before it gets to the Senate, and that's what we're looking for. So a 60% move in CGC on Monday. That was from the Weekly Watchers Watch This. MSOS is really the sector leader. CGC used to be the sector leader in Tilray. I don't even watch those anymore for sector leaders. What I like to watch is MSOS. So as long as MSOS is able to continue, keep an eye on it, and I think we'll be able to get a big spike in cannabis stocks. These are the big wins we had this month. We had 2 big first green days in Mulin. Both of them were like over, one was 1,100, this one was 1,200, and then you have that SBNY. Those 3 altogether equal $3,500. So like I just said, let your winners win. You have your biggest loss, $300. It's going to be hard for you to have a bad week. So that is our week and our month wrapped up as a whole there. If you guys have any questions or tickers, bring them up now. I'm just going to go over a couple more things briefly, and then we'll go over questions and tickers to finish this thing off. But what I do want to bring up is my man Sniper Strati. We got a trade review coming out. Me and Strati, we actually did our first trade review in a while together. Be on the lookout for it next Wednesday. We do actually SBNY together. So be on the lookout for that. Or FRCB. We do FRCB together. But my man made over 100K. I know I brought this up 2 weeks ago because that's when he did it. But check it out. You got to honor the guy. Honestly, anyone that gets in that six-figure digit club usually starts to get a feel. I could say you know what you like in the market and what works for you. So he's got his own plays. You guys will be able to learn from it when I drop the weekly watch list. It's a second green day. So it's usually a first green day to second green day play, and that's what he plays. He plays the second green day. Very interesting. So I want you guys to watch his weekly or his trade review on Wednesday. Yeah, he likes to see it, and as long as it doesn't break, just like we just talked about in SPNY, just like we talked about, if it doesn't break down back below, that's when he likes to buy it. So he'd like to buy it at one of these, risking low a day, because he believes that has the momentum now to continue, as well as volume. Volume's a key thing for him. But shout out to Sniper Strati, dude. He's starting to get the hang of it. And yeah, that's it. We also got Sniper Nick on a small account challenge. Let's hear your update. Where you at? We got Nick's update.
What up, y'all? All right, so like Mike was saying, we started a small account challenge. I went back and looked, and it was May 5th. So today makes it June 5th. So today makes it exactly a month. Got the stats here. It's a 22 trades, 11 wins, 11 losses. So this is why it's good cutting your losses quick, like Mike was saying. But I was able to double the account, which is nice. Yeah,
Nice.
so I end up, yeah. So that felt good. So you can go, yeah, you can check it out. All of it's on the Profitly now. I made a certain account just for that. It's Stock Sniper Nick small account.
Stock Sniper Nick small
And dude, you'll
account.
see most of them are just small like cuts.
Doubled his account. Was it a month so far?
Yeah, you like that? It's been a
1
month.
month.
Yeah, it's been a month.
Let's go.
So it's June 5th to July 5th. It feels good. So yeah, I would say just check out my Profitly. You could go over like the trades in there. But if you ever have any questions, just let Mike know, and I'm down to jump on it. But yeah, like Mike was saying, I think the biggest thing was just cutting your losses, because like right now when we're right, the stocks are actually doing really good. So you can do good right now. It's just, when you're wrong.
Finally,
I'm getting better at I know it's definitely nice when you're right, that it helps out that you actually get a good spike rather than just taking like 7% right now.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
the losses, what's nice is if you cut it quickly and you just don't let it bother you, like Mike was saying, you can do some damage. So go check out my account, because you'll notice half of them are just losses, but there's some really small losses, and the wins are nice. So yeah, I started with 4,200, and then I made 4,390 in profit.
Bam!
So
That's
that was
something
cool.
You don't need to have over PET. You don't need to have.
That was nice.
$20,000
It felt good,
in your
dude. It
account to
felt
make
good.
money, dude. He had himself a $4,000 month. That's absolutely awesome. I didn't even know you were doing that good. Let's go. That deserves free donuts. So we're gonna actually get some free donuts and whatever you guys want. Like I said, if you guys do want to go get that.
Get it.
But yeah, there it is, dude. Round of applause. So Stock Sniper Nick, small account. Go check that out. You'll see every trade on there. 11 wins, 11 losses. That is very, very impressive. And I'm glad he started this up, because this shows you guys that are just starting, you don't even need 4,000. If you had 2,000.
4,200 for 420.
4,200 altogether. 420 with a zero. But 4,200 what he started with. But even if you started with 2,000, 3,000, even doubling that is amazing. Whatever you're doubling in your account, that's absolutely unreal.
Yeah,
and now you got to just gain that skill to just start sizing up again. But if you got to use it, you got to use some money. Everyone do whatever you fucking want to do with your money.
You can keep some in and have a bigger account.
Yeah, there we go, dude. That's awesome. That's absolutely amazing. So, Amari's checking it out. If you guys want to go check it out, that is fucking great. Let's go there. Good shit, Nick. That's what I'm talking about. And here is a little bit of Post-it notes that I just want to show you guys. I did show everybody 2 weeks ago, but I'll bring it up again just because we're doing the monthly review. I always like to do things with Post-it notes on my actual computer screen. A lot of other people do this too. A lot of big traders I've heard about do it. Roland talks about how he has Post-it notes all over his desk as well. Post-it notes on your actual computer screen. So you got the screens up, and then you got the Post-it notes literally right under it. So now, if you do make that mistake, you can possibly glance down for a second and not panic, and just get out of that mistake. So what I like to do is don't put yourself in the and butt patterns. So if you're sitting there and you're like, ooh, should I do this? Should I not? Just don't even do it. There's going to be another day. There's going to be another day, especially right now. Things are heating up. Be ready. Do not force. Stay patient. Let the plays run without you. That's another one. Don't get crazy if the stock goes. You got to be patient. Be calm. And then the last one, pretty simple. It sounds simple, but when you're sitting in front of screens all day, sometimes sticking to the cut is hard, but really sticking to your pattern is the hardest. Because I'm like a degenerate gambler. Luckily, I slowed down on the sports betting completely. But if you have that mentality, this is like an open casino all day that you're looking at. And you could be firing all fucking day. And honestly, I've done that before. But usually you're going to break even or lose. And then it just stresses you out. And then you're not ready for the afternoon plays. Or you're not ready for later. So instead of doing all that shit, just stick to the cut and stay to your patterns. You got to find what works for you. We know what works for us. That's why we bring up these first green day, multi-month breakouts, panic dip buys. But you got Sniper Sauce or Strati. He likes to do the second green days. He's sticking to what he knows. You also have Sniper Sauceport. He likes these big dip buys. All these guys have different ways of making money, but the beauty is if you stick to your pattern and you know what works for you, you'll be able to add up your wins. So now let's just talk about the opportunities for tomorrow, and then we'll get into questions, guys. So let's do it. So tomorrow and the rest of the week, so we only have 2 more days in this week, we're going to talk about what we're looking at right now, and here it is. The first one is for sure Carnival Cruise Line. It's got to turn. 1950. So if you look at yeah, without a doubt. If you look at the weekly watchers watch list, I actually started Carnival Cruise Line a little early because look exactly what we were looking for. You were looking for. I even said this week if it's able to get one more pop to 1950, which is exactly what happened today.
Probably hang up there for a second. I feel.
We will be looking for the first red day. I honestly think it'll be tomorrow or Friday.
I don't know if it's gonna come down right away, but I feel you. I'm
No,
ready.
I think it's gonna gap down one day and go crazy.
Yeah, that's when we'll know it's finally ready
So,
to go.
it just doesn't make that red move. So what we're looking for in this, like I was just saying, is it's got to break below high day. Every single day we've played Carnival Cruise Line, it's held, it's wherever it's open. Once it drops below where it's open, I do think it's going to get a big crack. Either way, though, you could have been a little more patient till 1950, because guess what it hit today? 1955. So if we can get that 1955 resistance, then we use the $19 strike, which that would have been the ideal situation. We have the $18 strike now, which is not the best, but you guys might be able to jump in now. Maybe you'll be able to get in a little better than where we're at. So check out Carnival Cruise Line for next week. Even if you don't want to buy next Friday's expiration, you can do 2 Fridays from now, and this has a good chance of falling down. So that's the first one that we're eyeing down. The rest of them, Mullen, second green day. Usually I'm not going to look for much more. I just had that on there just because I didn't know I was going to sell it. So I had no clue I was going to sell it. Yeah, let's see where it's at right now. It's still just sitting there. So it's still sitting at 19 cents. Yeah, I mean, and if it does close at 19 cents, it'll probably gap up tomorrow. Very light. So, like, who knows?
That's a big spot, though. I feel like
yeah, I think it's finally gonna do it. So who knows? I might even put $1,000 overnight just to do something stupid. But that's just $1,000. No, I'm probably gonna do it. But I'm not gonna. I would never do like 5,000 again. I'm not gonna go big. I'm already up, like I said, $1,500. But the possibilities of this are crazy. AITX, beautiful looking first green day. That's going to come very soon. It's been holding in a spot, but and then the last couple ones, you have IQST, which we already sold that one, so multi-month breakout, but we already sold that one. NWBO, which that one is definitely due for a first green day. That was a big win that we talked about last month. And then MCOM is due for a day just like Mullen. So I'm waiting for the day that MCOM gets that crazy spike kind of day because it's definitely due for a day. So MCOM, be on the lookout for that. But all of these are ones that we're going to be watching tomorrow. This is Headspace. I enjoy doing it every morning. If you guys want to check it out, maybe one of these webinars, maybe next webinar, we'll do it together. We'll do it 10 minutes, or we'll do 5 minutes. Next webinar, we'll do 5 minutes together. So you guys can meet me here next webinar, and we'll actually do Headspace together. So I'll force you guys that aren't people that like to meditate. So you're good. If you don't like to meditate, I'm going to kind of try to make you guys meditate. And we'll try to do this all together, like I was just saying. So maybe 5 minutes we'll do next week all together. And download the app if you don't have it. The first one I think is free, but then after that you have to start paying for it. So Headspace is what I recommend. Our weekly schedule here, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We got a video every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Be on the lookout for that for sure. Sniper U, it's pretty much everything you need to know in the market that we learned and what we taught ourselves. And we created a whole 7-chapter course video on it. So if you ever want to check it out, definitely highly recommend that. And there it is, guys. That wraps up the webinar. Now let's dive into questions. Let's see if any of you guys have any questions. I always like to say no question is a dumb question. We're all on our own path. So you might be on a journey that I'm not on. It all depends. Everyone is literally on their own path. So don't get upset or don't be scared to ask me questions at all. And don't get upset at others if they're asking beginner questions, because you were once there at one point. And let's get rich together, guys. Let's see if we got any. And also tickers. Bring tickers. Let's see what we got here to close it out. Oh, we got a good amount of people on here today. Let's go. What's up, guys? We got a good crew on here today. I like that. Good shit. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so here we are. Let's get into tickers questions. All right, what's up, guys? Sorry for being late again. PLTR, nice balance, AI related. Let's check these out. PLTR. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. One sec. All right, so PLTR. I'll pull it up on this one. We'll watch Mullen close for the last minute, and we'll see what happens with it. It looks like it's going to close at 19 cents. Yeah, it actually got a huge push into the close. I mean, I honestly was happy with 18.5. I can't complain. But at the same time, what we usually like to do is hold this for a gap up the next day. So, yeah, it is what it is. It did come back down to 17.3 at one point, but that was about it. So there it is. It closed at 19.05. So that's the close right there. Now let's go into the other ones. So PLTR, let's see what you're talking about. AI move. I didn't even know this was an AI stock. That Palantir. So it looks like a slower moving stock for sure. This is probably one of those ones that you can buy with like options on. So this. Yeah, this is one of those slower ones, but I like this, Himini. Keep bringing up stocks like this. I see what you see. So yeah, Nick remembers it. I don't really remember it too much because this is kind of a stock I. Let's see what else we got. VTECF. That was that one that's, I think that's like a pump and dump. Yeah, this is a brand new OTC stock. I am terrified of this one. Only play I'd like in this one is if we get a panic back down to here, like 85 cents. If we get a big panic enough to come back to the 80s, maybe I try it out using like 75 as cut. That would probably be my only way of me trying it out. But I think it could happen. It could definitely panic.
It probably will continue, but it's going to panic.
At one day, it will panic. I mean, this panicked to $1. Look at it. If you look at the actual long term on minutes, it did panic to $1 and it bounced right away. So that means it's going to happen very, very soon. So huge panic down to 106. And then you got the bounce, 50% bounce. So unreal move right there. I do like that you're bringing this up, though. You're looking at the right stuff. NLST is fucking crazy. And NLST is a perfect example of why you cut your losses. Because you could have ended up losing 20% on this. Remember, we took it overnight from here to here, and then we held it till power hour.
We got out around 3:30. Good thing we did. If we didn't get out here at 3:30 and you bag hold the OTC stock like we just talked about, like Nick was just talking about, and not cut your losses, guess what happens? You literally lose 20% the next day. You can't hold and hope. You really can't. There's just so much opportunity out there that there will be another play. So just get the fuck out when you're wrong. That's all I can say. You got to get out. But NLST, it might be able to come back. I honestly don't really like it anymore just because of the way it gapped down. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm not the biggest fan of this one anymore. Finger. I don't know if I've seen that one before. It's definitely I know what you like, Himony. You like these bigger listed stocks. Oh, no, this one's not too bad. Wow. That one looks like a decent short. Maybe it breaks out of that, and then you could short it. This one actually is not a terrible short. I like what you're looking at, dude. So those are all good tickers that you brought up, guys. I fuck with those. Let's see what else we got. BBBYQ and CYXTQ. Both bankrupt stocks. So if they have the Q at the end, if any OTC stock is a 4-letter with a Q at the end, that means they are now bankrupt. So here we go. BBBYQ. I'm not in love with it. I mean, if it does continue past 32, maybe. I don't know. I usually like to play the first green day. So if anything, this day to this day was the day. I mean, it only went up 5%, but you could have made 5% overnight, which that's decent. But we played this day to this day before. So we are familiar with BBYQ, but this spot I'm not the biggest fan of. The other one was, what was it? CYXTQ. What the fuck? CYXTQ? This is a brand new one, I'm pretty sure. This is a... Yeah, they officially declared bankruptcy. Only when it's 5 letters. So if it's a 5-letter stock and then it has a Q at the end, they officially declared bankruptcy. So they're actually a bankrupt stock, which you'll usually see a chart like this. So a chart that's brand new because this was probably a listed stock that was like real, and then they had to file for bankruptcy, and then they get dropped to OTC stocks. So they go from listed to OTC, and then they put a Q at the end. Like Bed Bath & Beyond was BBBY, and now it's BBBYQ. So they add those Qs once they become bankrupt. But that was a great question right there. So this is a bankrupt company. That was the breakout to play. After that, guys, I don't know what's going to happen with the stock. I really don't. I'd say a panic, maybe. But I don't really like that one too much. It's too brand new. If it's too brand new, you have no past history to risk off of. And then if you have no past history to risk off of, you can't follow first green days or multi-month breakouts. It's just too hard. TTOO. TTOO. Not terrible. I don't know if I really like this either, but I see what you're looking at. I mean, it could get a big pop. This is another one that looks like it's just been downtrending all day, though. I don't know. It might need a red to green move. This looks like one of those plays that you'd play, Nick. I have no fucking clue. I mean, look at, because it's got that huge spike. Yeah, just no volume. You really need to see volume and then that spike above maybe that spot. But that's not horrible, Himony. Keep bringing them up. I like it. Keep bringing them up. For small loss and plan to try it again, but pass on it today. Oh, you got to try it. When we try, you got to try it. Or maybe size down. Yeah, I would say if it doesn't pop after, I mean, now that it's closed, it's over. But yeah, if you do chase it to 19 cents, no, you can't wait till 15 cents to cut it. You really are just gonna play. If it gaps down, you get out. If it gaps up, you're good to go. So that's more the way that you play Mullen. Is you're playing it for the gap up the next day, because that's just how we've done it in the past. After that, I don't know what's gonna happen. Most of the time, Mullen gaps down. Almost every time. And then, what is a typical position size before aiming for 10K? I do 3,000 at a time. So I try to get 3 entries of 3,000. 3,000 or 3,500. Then I do 3,000, 3,500, and then I look for the last one. That's just personally me. All you guys are different, but if you have a small account, don't do that. You're not really sizing in, right? Or are you? I can. I have a small account.
Yeah, exactly. So just like that, if you have a small account like Nick, pick a spot and just go with it. You can't.
In Mullen, I randomly did today. I should have just put them all in though. I did 15.
Like
Or
1,500 twice.
I did 15.3 at 2,500, and because now I have more in my account. I have like 4,400, 5,500. So I put 2,500, then the rest in later at like 17.
Yeah, so
Like
you
some
added the
people
same.
are.
That's what I did. So you were adding around the same. Nick did almost the same things, and we weren't even with each other
That's only
trading.
because now I have a little bit more in my account. But when you have 4K, you can't do
When
that.
you have
Now I'm 6, so I can do it.
when you have 4K, like he said, I would just try to just throw one size and one size
Don't
only,
do 2K, 2K.
because then you're gonna be wasting.
Especially because now, yeah, I sold. Now I sold after hours,
No, but
which
when
I
you
should have
sold,
waited, but it
it's
counts
only
as
one-
2.
No one.
You sure?
Yeah, one.
Oh.
That's the cool thing about day trading. Is
That's
it
good.
you can buy as much as you want. So if you do want to size in, just one sell though. You didn't do two
I was
sells.
about
did
to
you?
not sell because of that. No, I just did one.
Yeah, that's what I
I
learned.
always try to do
I
that.
actually just recently learned that. I didn't know that for a while too, but because I haven't been under PDT for a while. But you can buy as much as you want, but your sell has to be one sell. And if you have one sell, it counts as one day trade. That's it. So if you want to size in, the only thing is with commissions. But Mullen, you don't pay commissions. It's free. So you are, I think, is it free still or no? Do they make you pay for this?
It's probably very small, if anything.
I didn't pay now.
They
Like,
make you
yeah,
pay.
it was free. It was free for a little bit, but I think now it's
Yeah.
like, because like lately, like well, it's been a minute since I traded, but like the last time I traded, like I
This is
saw
like-
that there was commission.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
this
think
stocks
it is.
used to be free, but that's probably because they were trying to compete with Robinhood when they were doing it. But now Robinhood's all fucked up, so they're charging now too. Everyone's like in the bind. Everyone's probably looking at Robinhood like, why the fuck do you guys do that? But yeah, it's part of the game. Either way, though, if you want to size in, don't do it if it's below 2,000, 3,000. You can do it if it's above that, but practice on doing one sell, though, because then you don't have to use a day trade. You only use one day trade when you do that. Tilray? Did something happen to Tilray? Let me check. Nah, nothing has happened with Tilray, dude. I would say if it does pop above 175,
The only stock that hasn't gone up. Like wheat stocks are the only ones now.
yeah, it's weird. Like I said, MSOS is the sector leader. Once MSOS gets a spike back above this 640 area, that's when I think we'll get a run. But until then, I don't think we're going to see it. Over the weekend, though, or over the 4th of July, you could have made money on TrueLeaf. We had it on the Sniper Scope. It actually made a 10% move. So that was an opportunity that we missed that I definitely usually buy, and I didn't do it. So there are opportunities out there, but until you get these big spikes in MSOS, the rest of them are not going to do much. So don't really go chasing all these cannabis stocks. I used to do that, but I come to realize I was just falling in love with them. So there's no point in doing that. Everyone's saying congrats. I have to trade next to you.
Let's go.
Good congrats right there. Nice, dude. Himony, keep working on those Post-it notes yourself. One of the casino days on Monday and was ugly to break even on the day. Oh yeah, dude. Honestly, it's easily a casino day if you're able there. If you're just trading. You could easily make the stock market the casino, Ben. So I definitely understand where you're coming from, without a doubt. Just I like to compare it to a casino because I say the longer you're in stocks, the more chance you have to lose. So try to be in a stock as least as possible. Trying to sell. Nice. Yeah, paper trading's not terrible. Moon Market pump CYXTQ. I don't even know Moon Market. I gotta follow them. Let me check out these guys. Oh, I am following them, I guess. I guess so don't look at them too much, but what did we find this at 03? Look at these guys, baby. All right, well, good for the Moon Market. Looks like they're in Sohn overnight too, 8K. Oh no, they followed the 8K. I'm gonna check out this Moon Market. That looks cool. I do follow them, but honestly, I try to stay to what my plan is, and I try not to be biased with what goes on with all the Twitter nonsense because there is so much people talking on there. It's unreal. I don't know how to trade PLTR, but I missed the short on it because I was confused when to short it. Yeah, those are hard. Try to find what works for you and try to continue to just repeat that. So find what works for you and rinse and repeat. That's why we have our motto, learn, profit, repeat. Because we're literally looking for what works for us. We're learning about it, then we're profiting on it, and then we're trying to do that again. And that's really all the goal is in this game. Just like anything in life. Find what works for you and repeat that and just keep repeating it until it doesn't work anymore. But usually, if it's consistent, it'll keep working for a long time, just like the stocks that we've been in. And there we go, guys. I think that's going to wrap things up here. We pretty much hit that hour mark. Even though we were a little late here, we still are at an hour altogether. So a nice, webinar, amazing power hour. I just want to let you know that this power hour that we just had is warming you up for what's to come. Because when we have these kind of plays, you have back-to-back 15% moves. Like we literally were able to make back-to-back 15% plays. That's unfucking real. And if you're able to do that with nice size, you can really grow your account. So that's the goal, guys. Let's continue to grow our accounts. Let's continue to be the best versions of ourselves. We won't be back here until next month. So next month we have the first Friday. Damon just texted us. He was at guitar class, unfortunately. But it's all good. He's got a kid. He's got a lot of responsibilities. He still was able to tag some bags, and that's the beauty about it, guys. So let's continue to tag bags together. Let's keep up the hard work. Hopefully next account is even bigger next time we all see each other. And let's get rich together, guys. We'll see you back here on Thursday. Well, next Wednesday, but on Thursday. All right, guys. Well, we're back to 8 o'clock next week, so
Much love, y'all.
much love, guys. Much love. It looks like you guys are answering each other's questions. Peace out,
Yeah.
homies.
Let's go.
Love it.
If you guys want
Yeah, I'll
anything.